I am Richard from New Zealand. I experienced a time when I couldn't control my body. That was on August 3rd, 2024. My experience began with a sudden and complete collapse of my physical body. There was little warning. I felt approximately 30 seconds of not being in control of my body, which was unique, and I have never experienced it before or after that event. A nurse was taking my blood pressure. I panicked and yelled at her to get a doctor 3 times loudly. During this, I knew something was very wrong, and I felt the most intense regret and sorrow I have ever experienced. Then my consciousness ended instantly, without any sense of falling asleep, fading, or dreaming. It felt like something inside me snapped, and all physical sensation, identity, and awareness disappeared. The transition was not visual. There was no tunnel, no darkness, and no out-of-body perception. Instead, I became aware of a vast non-physical state made entirely of emotion, recognition, and meaning. The first thing I experienced was what I can only describe as a song. It was not music in the human sense, but a total, overwhelming communication of unconditional acceptance, love, grace, and profound sorrow. It was the most beautiful thing I have ever encountered, and far beyond any normal emotional experience. No words were exchanged. I don't know how I was communicated with, but my understanding was instant and complete. I felt like I was being cradled by something, in the way that I was protected from all the negative emotions and physical, mental, and emotional pain that I was experiencing just before I ended. It and I connected at a level I still don't understand. I knew I was safe and wanted. Whatever cradled me loved me far beyond my ability to comprehend. I felt true grace for the first time in my life. I was cherished beyond my capacity to understand, and felt completely seen and accepted as I was. I could not fight whatever it was, and did not try. I surrendered to it with humility and gratitude. It expressed joy toward me. There was no time and no sense of space. I felt no fear at any point. I understood clearly that I was given a choice. I could stay in that state and dissolve into it entirely, or I could return to my life. It was phrased as the words, "Come home." They appeared in my head. No words were physically spoken. There was an emotional element to it, unconditional love and grace. Remaining felt expansive, peaceful, and complete. Returning felt small and heavy, but I knew instinctively that I was not finished. There were responsibilities and people I still owed love to. I chose to return. As soon as I made that decision, I felt myself fall abruptly back into my body. The return was jarring. I felt my heart start again. It was an extremely intense experience. The first thing I heard was a doctor saying, "He's breathing again. Put those down," to a nurse who was approaching me with charged paddles. I was surrounded by a crash team and medical equipment. My senses felt harsh and limited compared to the state I had come from. I was in intense physical pain. I was covered in my own blood and coughing up more of it, both liquid and clotted. All I could hear in my mind was the song, and it was so beautiful I couldn't stop crying. The experience permanently changed me. I lost all fear of death. My emotional capacity deepened dramatically, and I developed a strong internal sense of purpose, responsibility, and protection. The memory of the song stayed with me and continues to influence how I understand compassion, connection, and love. 1 year later, when someone close to me was dying, I recognized the same threshold I had once crossed. Without planning to, I projected a small part of what I experienced during my NDE, the unconditional love, peace, and sense of safety. She immediately became calmer and relieved. This reopened the emotional depth of my own experience and came at a heavy personal cost, but I would do it again without hesitation. I understood clearly that I was given a choice. I could stay in that state and dissolve into it entirely, or I could return to my life. It was phrased as the words, "Come home." They appeared in my head. No words were physically spoken. There was an emotional element to it, unconditional love and grace. I am a completely different person than I was before it happened. I can recall the overall emotional state, the song, and what was communicated to me in part to this day. It brings tears to my eyes. I yearn for that connection. Occasionally it hurts, a lot. Often it centers me.